Hello, I'm Michael Boyajian, and again, I'm going to be doing a little book talk here. And once again, it is I'm going to be talking about an upcoming title in the Mike and Jerry series, which is on hold again because of my hand injury. I've got 12 books in that series published, and 4 or 5 more to go. Today, I want to again go back to the Buddhist portion of Jerry in my life. And again, that book is titled Running Through Fields of Grass, Our Life on the Dharma Path. And this time, I want to talk about a question that inevitably comes up every time there is a visiting Rinpoche at a lecture or whatever given at a monastery. And that question is, are plants sentient beings? And the question is asked so often that the Rinpoche, and I'm talking about the Tibetan Buddhist schools, easily handles the, if you would, the baseball ground ball heading towards them, and fields it. And that is, he says, not in Tibetan Buddhism, but definitely in Zen Buddhism. I think we have to reevaluate that, and I've contacted my monastery and let them know some interesting facts and books to read, primarily Peter Wohlenben's books, and also books by Suzanne Simard and Meg Lohman and some others, where they actually scientifically prove that there is communication between at least trees. And if not just trees, at least wild flora, but definitely not domesticated plants, which have zero sentient powers. And, humans are sentient beings, as are some animals. Maybe more animals than we think at this point, based on what we know of the plants. The trees do communicate. Not like us, they have their own way of communicating. If an insect infestation starts on one tree, that tree sends out a chemical reaction to other trees so that they begin putting out their counter insect repellent chemicals inside their leaves. Keeping the insects away. And again, it doesn't just happen 1, 2, 3. It's over a period of hours or even more. And again, there's also contact between roots. We often thought that once you cut a tree down, that was it. No, that's not true. That stump is being fed by the roots of the trees around it. So that's that. Also, we always think, oh, this tree's crowding out that tree. My wife, Jerry, always said that about her magnolia being crowded out by the mimosa tree I planted, which, for some reason, it doesn't grow over the magnolia. It grows right up to it. Why? There's some reason. I don't know why. I don't even know if a botanist would know why. But underneath in the roots, they're feeding each other back and forth. And that's a form of communications. And again, this is all scientifically documented by those authors whose books are readily available and available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and independent bookstores, of course. And again, all the authors are on the same point. And I started out with the German forester Peter Wohlenben, and moved on to the other authors who were equally terrific. And again, the other interesting discovery they made was that the forestry companies like to get rid of all the other growth around their primary tree species, like pine, they want, or hemlock. And so they get rid of all other trees and flora around it. And what the scientists found was of these authors, I think it was one of the women authors, that she found that, and that author, she beat cancer also. But anyhow, during her studies. And anyhow, she found that actually that hurts the trees that you're trying to protect and make stronger and bigger to get more yield by cutting away that undergrowth. If you keep the undergrowth and trees and don't use the pesticides or not pesticides, well, pesticides or herbicides, the trees you're trying to protect grow stronger, higher, bigger. Okay, so that to me is evidence of sentient beings, and I think I recommend that the Tibetan Buddhists start reevaluating this important issue. It's our knowledge is much more different than the time of the Buddha, and certainly also different than the time of the beginning of the Tibetan Buddhist lineage of Buddhism. So anyhow, have a nice day.